Best practices for finding the source of supply chain leakage. Unauthorized sellers in online marketplaces like Amazon wouldn't be able to sell your products at rock-bottom prices if they weren't obtaining those products through illegitimate sources. Having worked in e-commerce enforcement, we've identified some common sources of supply chain leakage. Cargo theft. The FBI estimates that cargo thefts cost U.S. industry over $30 billion per year. It can happen at any point along the trail of commerce, manufacturer's warehouse, on the road or at truck stops, and distributor's warehouse. Distributor leakage. Employee theft. Fire sales of damaged or expired goods. Unauthorized discounts from distributor, e.g. discounts in exchange for volume of cash upfront purchases. Violations of distribution agreements. Direct sales of discounted products on third-party marketplaces anonymously. Direct sales of discounted products directly to Amazon, Walmart. Direct sales to retailers without requirement of retailer agreements. Direct sales to dropshippers at discounted pricing. And direct sales to unauthorized or unapproved retailers. Retailer leakage. Quantity purchases from distributors to sell on third-party marketplaces anonymously. Quantity purchases from distributors sold to dropshippers. Quantity purchases from distributors to be sold to unauthorized retailers. So, how does a brand discover the sources of leakage? By using preventative measures and active enforcement measures. Preventative measures. Number 1. Perform distributor due diligence. By properly vetting new distributors before you do business with them, you can gain some degree of certainty that these companies will never be a source of leakage for your brand. Ask whether the distributor requires employee background checks or random drug tests for warehouse employees. Mandate that all distributors have a zero-tolerance policy on employee theft. Mandate that all distributors have security cameras inside and outside their warehouses. Only do business with those employing extra security measures in place, like fencing, automated locking systems, motion detecting lights, and shipper tracking devices. Examine their loss history. Ask how many insurance claims they have filed over the past 5 years related to theft. Ask to review their written policy with respect to disposal of expired products. Talk to other brands to determine their reputation and trustworthiness in the marketplace. Number 2. Require authorized distributor or retailer agreements. Solid distribution and retailer agreements with important legal assurances will make legal enforcement against leaking distributors much easier. Liquidated damages clauses. Brand inspection and audit rights. Preliminary injunction rights to halt offending sales. Clear instruction regarding disposal of damaged or expired products. Require distributor to have retailer policies and controls in place that match the brand's objectives. And clear zero-tolerance policy for resellers that violate your distributor or reseller policies. Active enforcement measures. Number 1. Escalated e-enforcement, the FBI of e-commerce. E-enforce, e-commerce enforcement, involves several steps that are outlined in prior videos. Monitoring of unauthorized sellers in online marketplaces across the globe. Data analysis to prioritize the most problematic sellers. Tracking and identifying the real people behind the anonymous online storefronts. Obtaining information and demand of proof of where the anonymous sellers obtained their products. Force the unauthorized sellers to stop permanently because of legal standing. Identification of the sellers are key. When it comes to determining the source of supply chain leakage, determining the real identity of the seller is key. The reason for this is simple. Many storefront operators are often just cogs in a wheel. Many of them obtain products from people and organizations with much greater resources than they have. Part of the e-enforce escalated enforcement strategy is to make the individuals behind the storefront so worried about personal liability that they'll have no choice but to give up the sources of the products they sell. Once we've identified an upstream source, we can deploy escalating enforcement measures against those individuals to determine if products are being sourced at an even higher level. We continue this pressure until we determine the exact source of leakage within your supply chain. This constant effort to utilize small actors to give up higher-level sources has earned e-enforce a reputation by some as kind of like the DEA of e-commerce enforcement against unauthorized and rogue sellers.